too many people know what Palestinian cuisine is all about. And so I wanted to do that, first of all, so that people can learn what Palestinian cuisine is. We all know about Arabic cuisine in general, but hardly ever do people know the differences within the cuisine. People just name it Arabic, but within Arabic cuisine we have so many diversified cuisines, and Palestinian cuisine is one of them. I also wanted to showcase that cuisine is always the outcome of culture. It's culture that creates the cuisine, because it's the way we think, the way we are, the way we view life, and the way we view produce, and that lifestyle that actually dictates what people end up having for food, and people evolve that food. Palestine is a country that has a very specific case, because Palestine has throughout history been always occupied and moved from one occupation to another, and because of that the cuisine never had a chance to actually evolve too much to become very modern. And in fact, it's one of the cuisines in the world, the very few cuisines in the world, that is actively preserved as it first started. So you'll see from ancient times until today, very minimal change has taken place in this cuisine. This is something that I wanted to showcase, and I wanted to show how as a people we create that food, and then how food moves around the world, like even from here. Like for instance, the people who left that country and now are living in the US, for instance, they still cook their cuisine, but they have adapted some of the produce to suit what they have available in their new destination. And that kind of shows you how minimal that evolution happened. And you know, it's not changed, it's necessity that changed it. So this is by nature a slow cuisine. Slow as in it is all about culture. It's not very modern and very evolved. It's as it started. It relies on ancient methods of preparing food, from bread making to jamming to pickling to preserving, and it is a very highly seasonal cuisine. From the recipes perspective, I think it will be very interesting to be exposed to a new cuisine, number one. Number two, a lot of people look for vegetarian recipes, and I know that vegetarian people always struggle. They think, you know, it can get boring, and after a while you feel that, okay, I don't want to have that food. Like, how many salads can we have? We do have a section, and it's dedicated to the food of spring, and it's all about leaves. And it's like a huge vegetarian section, which if you're not vegetarian are very good side dishes to serve next to meats, but if you are, it's nice to have that variety. Since this covers a whole cuisine, I've gone from pre-cooking, so basically from when it comes out of the land, what happens to it to preserve it, and how we create our pantry. I've also talked about the ancient techniques, from pickling to jamming to even spice mixes, sauces, and how to do all of that, and then to the appetizers, and then main courses, which in Palestinian cuisine there's a variety of. You know, we have the corn stuffed vegetables, which everybody likes. We have the rolled leaves, excuse me, and we have as well the stews, the rice, and then went into dessert. It's kind of a big book, but it's one of those books that you'll really enjoy reading, because while it is in a way scholarly, as in it has all the information, kind of like an encyclopedia of that cuisine, but it also has so many cultural, historical stories, and I've added my own personal story to it to kind of showcase a real life example what I'm talking about in terms of the theory of culture. So I think that gives it that touch, that autobiographical touch. I'm talking about the relationship between generations, between me, my mother, and my grandmother, and how these things are passed to us. And unless we are open and aware, we actually don't appreciate it. And I wanted to take the time to appreciate that. In a way, I'm asking people to slow down and go back to slow food, go back to the old ways of preparing and cooking, and go back to these relationships that are really essential in shaping the people that we are. And finally, also tackling one of the Middle East's most complicated issues about occupation, about living in diaspora, and finding just a positive way to look at everything, and a way that can be a base to move on in a better light. So I really hope that you'll enjoy it. I mean, please do come and take a look through. You will see that I've included not just the food recipes, I've actually included pictures from culture explaining why, for instance, something like this is very important for us to preserve today and to keep the identity of. You'll see that even the food pictures, I haven't gone with what normally the books are going for these days, because I'm talking about a different time and I wanted the pictures to show that time. I'm also talking about in culture there's literature, there's art, and there is of course the pop culture, and I wanted to incorporate everything in the pictures and show that even with food it's actually a reflection of everything. And the reason why I called it Plated Heirlooms, because to me the story of a whole people can be summarized in the plate that they eat, and you will see how inside. I hope you'll get your hands on it, enjoy it, read it, and yeah.
يا مسافرة في بحر جاي